Okay, and welcome to data.interzoid.com, where we're going to be using Interzoid's AI interactive data client to retrieve information about various venture capital companies. Maybe we're doing research about the various venture capital firms. Maybe we're interested in their portfolio companies. Whatever the case may be, here's a great way to quickly learn information about various venture capital firms and be able to describe the various pieces of data or information that you want, self-defined in a very custom way. And then, of course, we can take our data configuration and create an API out of it that could then be integrated, or we can run hundreds or thousands of venture capital firms through the API so we can do some kind of analysis. Whatever the case may be, this tool shows you how to do it. So the first thing you need to do is you do need an API key. Since there's an API that works behind the scenes, you can get one at interzoid.com, and it will have some trial credits that you can try some of this out. So in order to start retrieving data, the next thing that we need to do is describe in a very general natural language type way what our data topic is. And this will help our AI engines behind the scenes. In this case, it's pretty simple. Of course, this could become very complex depending on the type of data that we're looking for. But here, we're just looking for venture capital information. So that's pretty simple. And then we're going to start looking up values here with the different venture capital firm names that we're interested in. But we must determine and enter the data fields, the output fields that we want to get back. And this is how we're basically creating a custom structured output format for the data that is of interest to us. Pretty easy to do. For example, I might be interested in headquarters. I want to know where the venture capital firm is. And these can become pretty detailed if you want. I mean, there's no limit really to what you can ask for, but I might want the website URL. How about a free text description? I can learn more about the firm. Maybe I'm a startup looking for investment and I want to understand more about this particular firm that I'm analyzing. Let's make sure we understand what the current fund is. Maybe there's some size constraints that are of interest to us, and we want to know, in fact, not only the name of it, but let's go ahead and look up the current fund size. See if we can retrieve that information. That's of interest to us. And note I can change the order, delete some of these output data fields and so forth. Might as well get some key portfolio companies so we can better understand the type of investments that this venture capital firm makes. And I could add more fields, I could change these, run them multiple times. Maybe I'm interested in companies they've exited out of. Maybe I'm interested in who some of the key partners are, or the type of investments they focus on. Investment philosophy, there's, again, no end to the type of information that I can look up. But I think that's a good start for this demo. I can add more. And again, this is going to come out as structured information as a response to the query that we run. So let's go ahead and let's try Lightspeed Ventures. That's a well-known fund. And then we need to choose the model that we're going to be using here. And by the way, before I choose this, I want to point out we can save this configuration. So that way we don't have to recreate the fields and so forth every time we want to look this up. And that's also going to be important when we create an API out of this or run it in batch mode. The configuration is going to be important. Just want to point that out. But for now, let's choose our model. There's some different models that are available that give you the opportunity to experiment. Some models are better based on certain data that you're looking for than others. You'll notice some of these are premium models. They do require more credits when you use them, but they also utilize the premium models, utilize some web search on top of the AI models and the various knowledge bases and algorithms we make use of. So let's go ahead, just for comprehensive information, let's try Model A Premium. And that's pretty much it. We're ready to run and see what kind of information, structured data that we can get back. So I will click the run button and it will go out to the web, hit our AI models, and get the information that we're looking for. Okay, and it gave us an address, website, a description. Now this is just kind of a text window here. So if we want, we can save these results, of course, to a text file. But maybe if we want to see it in a little more organized way, we can click Pretty View, which just shows it in a way here, the description, a multi-stage venture capital firm focused on accelerating disruptive innovations, etc. Here's some current funds that they have, along with the current fund size that we asked for, as well as some key portfolio companies of Lightspeed Ventures. So that's the information that we're looking for. Again, it comes back in a structured way and a very manageable way. And there's a key reason for that, in addition to organizing the data. It's kind of a new way to search for it. But it also will generate an API call. So you can see the API call that was used to generate this data. And you can see it right here. Get custom is the endpoint. Here's where your API license key would go, and this is the same one as this one here. So if you're going to use it, you need your own API key. The topic is just the natural language description, venture capital information. The lookup value is Lightspeed Ventures. And of course, if you integrate this into a web form, into an analytics application, whatever types of data that you're looking for, this lookup parameter is the one that will likely change with each call as you're looking up different sets of data from different firms. In this case, it's the name of the venture capital firm. And then the model that we made use of, Model A Premium, is another parameter. And then the output parameters is just simply an array where we describe the fields that we're looking for. Using this approach, the response will be in JSON. And of course, I can integrate this or any other data that I describe into any application, website, mobile application, business process, other AI analysis capability. No matter what I do, this API makes access to this type of data programmatically. And you can find out more. Here you can get an API key in the menu. You can find out more by exploring the API. There's also a step-by-step guide, a description of the models, and of course, the batch mode. Here with this interactive tool, we're looking up one file or one set of data at a time. With this batch mode tool at enrich.interzoid.com, you could run a CSV file, for example, of 100 venture capital names, and it will get all of this data for all 100 of those, or 1,000 even, whatever the case may be. Whatever you're looking for, to quickly do it in batch mode, and then you could load it into Excel, Google Sheets, whatever the case may be. Again, it makes it easy to get this data, leverage various models in knowledge bases and web search, and pull it all together very quickly in an organized way. Let's just try a couple more here for fun. What else could we try? We could try General Catalyst, another well-known fund. It's had a long, successful track record. And I will scroll down a little bit again, click Run, go out and get the data that we're looking for. And here we can see they're headquartered in San Francisco. Let's take a look at it in the preview. You can see some of the description. The current fund is, I guess, Fund 12, an $8 billion fund. Some of the key portfolio companies, Stripe, HubSpot, Airbnb, Snap, a lot of household names here. And of course, these are the larger venture capital firms. We can try one other, maybe Bull City. Bull City Ventures, another one that's outside of California, but maybe a little bit smaller, just to show the coverage and reach. Let's go ahead and try this one. And you can see they're headquartered in Durham, North Carolina. It's a $15 million fund, so not as large as the two previous funds. some key portfolio companies currently investing out of the Partners Fund 4. Again, look at it in pretty view. Just wanted to show some breadth and just give you an idea of the types of information and how you could put this to work. Again, take a look at the API key. You can see the lookup values, Bull City Ventures, here within the API call. And again, we can customize these fields, all kinds of ways that we can use this to get the types of information that's useful to us. And that's the key point. Love to hear from you. Contact us at support@interzoid.com if you have any questions or comments. And of course, come and visit us at interzoid.com where you can try this out, or the URL data.interzoid.com. And you can visit the website too to get a trial key if you'd like to explore integrating this into your own processes or just looking up a lot of funds, whatever makes sense to you. Thanks for watching.